Now from Florida's command center is Governor Ron DeSantis. Good evening, Governor DeSantis. Thank you for being with us. This is, I don't have to tell you, a monster storm. President Biden says it looks like the storm of the century, and landfall is now earlier than expected. Is your state ready?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as you mentioned in the report, we've got 50,000 linemen staged, ready for rapid power restoration. We also have a full mobilization of the Florida National Guard, as well as receiving a lot of assets from other states. And so it'll be the largest search and rescue function that we've ever done. Now, I do think a lot of people did get out, and I hope we don't have to effectuate a lot of rescues, but we'll be ready. I also would just say it has been somewhat good news that it's weakened. It's now a Category 3. It's still a very dangerous storm, but the fact that it's weakened and the fact that it's moving quicker means it's going to come ashore before we hit high tide. That may mean you have a mitigation of the storm surge, but we're also telling Floridians it's going to be a hurricane all the way across the state. If you're on the east coast of Florida, you could get storm surge on the other side. So this is a very fragile 24 hours. So just hang in there, listen to your emergency management folks, and stay safe.
I know Florida opened hundreds of shelters, including some of last resort for motorists who got stuck while evacuating. Are your shelters full? Are there any reports of people stuck already?
No, we have plenty of room in the shelters. Look, at this point, if you're in the west coast of Florida, it's probably too dangerous to go to a shelter. But one of the things we've done in Florida is stress that when you shelter, you don't have to get on the interstate and drive hundreds of miles. We have places, even in the counties that are in the eye of the storm, that are inland, that are not susceptible to storm surge, but that are hurricane proof. Any of the places we use as a shelter is going to be able to withstand a Category 3 storm. We had tens of thousands of Floridians who did that, but then we also have a lot of Floridians who evacuated from the barrier islands. You know, these are people that tend to have a little bit more means, and I think a lot of them went to friends' house, took flights out, or went to hotels. So by and large, people heeded the call.
You know, Governor, there's a lot of people with friends and family in Florida. They're worried about them. What does your state need right now?
Everything we've asked for, we've gotten. I've been working constructively with President Biden. We've marshaled all state agencies, and we're working very constructively with our local partners. We know what we're doing here in Florida. We prepare for it. Floridians can rest assured you're going to have a very robust response. We've been ramping up for this. Even as we were recovering for Helene, we've been doing it. So you've had a lot of people who've been working round the clock for over 2 weeks. We know there's a lot more ahead of us, but rest assured we have not left anything on the floor. We're going out with everything we've got to make sure people are safe.
It sounds like you're very well deployed there. I noticed that you mentioned you've been in touch with President Biden, that those conversations have been constructive. Just a short time ago, President Biden from the White House denounced what he called this onslaught of misinformation. He said it's reckless. He said the lies that are out there are un-American. Are you also concerned that some of these lies, this misinformation, is undermining confidence in the relief efforts?
Well, I'm not sure what he was talking about per se. I know there's been a lot of controversy about North Carolina. I don't really know what's going on there. I can tell you in Florida, when there was a report that somehow was telling people not to evacuate because FEMA was somehow going to take over their homes, I can tell you in the state of Florida, that will not happen. I am in charge in Florida. We are working with FEMA to leverage resources, but we make the decisions. You will be allowed back into your home as soon as the storm passes. I put that in the executive order. I think there's some people out there. We live in an age where you can monetize a lot of this nonsense online. You can get a lot of clicks, but that is not true in Florida. So we are going to do it right. Your property is going to be protected, and we're going to make sure that you get back on your feet.
Governor DeSantis, thank you for joining us at this busy time. We are praying for the people of your state.
Thank you.